And here on the executive stage, I would like to welcome the team from Borgo Egnazia, which is a luxury resort in the south of Italy. We have Sabina Vivaldi, hotel manager, and her team, Mariangela Macchia, Elisa Ovalles, and Giovanni Guida. Good morning, well, almost afternoon, I would say. Welcome. If you need somebody to visit your Gamba, by the way, I'm available anytime. But thank you very much for being here. Alessio Camello from Istituto di Management in Italy is going to be the host. The stage is yours, guys. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are going to start with a very short video, so I hope you can see and hear us.
Yes.
Bene, benvenuti a tutti. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to Puglia and welcome to the beautiful Borgo Egnazia. I'm Alessio Camello of the Italian Institute. There are the few people that you just saw before with me that are going to jump in very soon. But before starting, let me add a few words to explain what this place is from a customer point of view. I've been here regularly for a couple of years now, and the most important thing that I want to share with you about this place are two. Oh, there is the beauty of it, of course, but the most important thing to me are the people working in here. Very passionate, talented people, really into hospitality. They've got the power to make you feel home every single time and let you experience an incredible sense of hospitality. Second thing, very important, what they are doing through hospitality is keeping tradition alive. So to me, they are distilling the very essence of Puglia, of the region. And everything in Borgo Egnazia speaks out loud about tradition, Puglia, the architecture, the food, the music, everything they made in here. And by doing that, they are creating a place that you can find here and nowhere else. That's it. You should come and see by yourself. Now to the point, why are we here today? We are here because we want to share with you what we learned so far during the last couple of years of working in Lean, with Lean. And it is very important nowadays because Lean applied to hospitality, it is something very new in Italy. We've got a lot to learn, but we've got even something to share. And today, the team decided to tell you what we learned on something that is the real core essence of hospitality. And it is interesting because it is something as intangible as the customer experience. So now I'm going to hand it over to Sabina with this question.
Thank you, Alessio.
What happens when there is a chance that we are not providing the customer the excellence that we aim for?
So again, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I don't know where you are in the world. And we are here in an amazing sunny day in Puglia and at Borgo Egnazia. I'm the hotel manager and I'm going to share with all of you a super successful project. We are very proud of it and is related to complaint management. You know, I don't know how many of you works in hospitality, but to be sincere with you, when you see the word complain, you start, when you do this work, you don't feel well. You feel stressed, you feel annoyed, you feel guilty, and you start to look you around to say, oh my God, who else caused this? Oh my God, and now how much I have to pay to compensate the guests. So my manager is going to call me, is going to warn me, and so many hard time behind a complaint. So my leadership is not based on stressing people, but is based on trying to shift difficult in opportunity, So I said, okay, let me try to bring on the table this complaint management and make it become a super powerful tool for us, for our strategy to improve and to increase the daily process of working. What we did, it was a long story, a long journey. So we tried to shift from working in silos to being together. So we try calling everybody from each department and say, we need your help, we need your collaboration, we need to do brainstorming, we need to talk about what are your gray zone in your department, what are your dark areas where really we need to go deeply inside and trying to find solution in a way that we unroot completely such a type of process. So with the help of the team, and later on they are going to explain very well the process, we have created a weekly program, a weekly appointment where all the departments were meeting and brainstorming. At the beginning, we tried to talk a lot. We tried to bring on the table a lot of gray zone. But we understood that this type of approach is really a subject approach, is really a lecture approach, is too much philosophy and less object. So the lean approach gave us the method, gave us the structure, and in this way we had a process of analysis. So we have created a guest journey where we analyze every phase from the arrival of the guest to the departure. And we identified 70 alert points. You know what I mean? 70 alert points. So 70 alert points are really many. So from that, we say, oh my God, 70 alert points means that we have to create 70 standard operation procedure. So altogether, we decided to create the top 10 list, the top 10 list of the complaint, and out of the top 10 list, we have developed an OPL to help the team to work in autonomy for the problem solving. And so everyone slowly started to be very responsible about the project that we were conducting, and at the same time they start the awareness of how complaint is no longer a difficult topic, but is a way of collaboration and improvement, and is also bringing a great impact on the strategy of the hotel when the shifting is really made. So no more to blame somebody, but be able to aware of how to improve the process. So before I hand over the stage to the team, I want to give you the final result, that the impact of this work that took us around 8 months of working together is the 90% reduction of the top complaints. A lot of proactive activities has created a prevention mentality. What does it mean, prevention mentality? That everybody now look at what can be our gray zone and take action in a way that the gray zone disappear and the risks are going to be less than possible. And our goal, the owners of Borgo Egnazia, Aldo, gave us a very high target that is 0 mistake, 0 error. So we are all on this run, and we have done already many kilometers. I like to compare a lot my work with sports. So we have done already. We are almost at the end of our long marathon. And so now the team can explain you the small process of how we succeed. So Mariangela is here on stage. Mariangela is our front of house manager. And Mariangela is one of the first person that meet people when they are not happy and where they have to share their complaint. So she can explain you how everyone now has shifted the mentality. Welcome, Mariangela.
Grazie Sabina, and ciao everybody. My name is Mariangela already, and I'm really happy to share with you the journey that led us to improve the way we manage guest feedback and experiences. So, where did we start? Our starting point was the A3 model, a lean tool that helped us, as you can see, set clear goals, analyze problems deeply, and find effective, lasting solutions. As we follow its different steps, one key need became very clear. We had to track every single guest complaint or report in a detailed, structured way, even those very subtle signs of discomfort that are not always spoken out loud. At the beginning, we already had a ticketing system in place, but we decided to optimize it technically so that it could really serve our purpose, turning each report into an opportunity for improvement rather than just a note to fix something. One of the most important steps in this process was training and involving our entire operational and guest facing staff. We wanted everyone from the front office to the housekeeping, from restaurants to maintenance, to be able to recognize not only an open complaint, but also those small details that might reveal a guest dissatisfaction. And that's how we start spreading what we like to call a culture of attention and empathy, a mindset of focus not just on solving problems, but only on truly listening our guests, understanding them, and taking care of their experience from start to finish. With the improved ticketing system, all departments are now instantly informed. Everyone stays aligned, and that allows us to react quickly, to take ownership of a situation, meet the guest personally, listen carefully, and show an immediate and proactive attitude. This makes the guest feel acknowledged, welcome, and truly heard, which in the end is exactly what our hospitality is all about. Once we implemented this more detailed tracking, we realized we needed to go a step further. So we created a data file to collect every single report. Over time, we added more and more details, indicators, and analysis points, allowing us to look at the data from two perspectives: the guest experience, of course, but also cost and operational efficiency. This tool gave us the chance to analyze each case in depth, not only to understand how much it costs to resolve an issue, but above all, to find the root cause and prevent it from happening again. It also allowed us to identify recurring situations and take a proactive preventive approach with target action plans that often stopped the problem before it even appeared. And the results, they were excellent, both in economic terms and in cultural and professional growth for our team. With the right training and clear process, our guest-facing staff now have much greater autonomy. They can handle many issues directly and confidently without having to escalate every time, while still knowing that management is always there to support them when needed. Finally, all this data collection and analysis lead us to create something really powerful, our BI dashboard. And now, to tell you more about this dashboard and how it's transforming our work every day, I'll pass it over to Giovanni.
Thank you, Mariangela.
Here it is. Please.
Thank you. Buongiorno a tutti. So, after defining the method, the culture, and the shared mindset, our next challenge was to turn all those conversations into something visible and measurable. So, we wanted to look at complaints not as an isolated event, but a signal of what's happening inside the guest experience. And since waiting for a new digital tool wasn't really an option, we decided to start simple. So yes, we built it on Excel. That's not exactly the glamorous beginning of an innovation story, but that's where the real lean part comes in. Originally, in our internal system, every complaint was linked to a responsible department and a few long text fields. Beautifully written, by the way, considering that our guest-facing teams have a strong humanistic background. So they describe everything with passion and detail. A lot of details. And that's great for storytelling, but it's terrible for analysis. What we needed
was a different lens, one that could show the complaint from the guest point of view and not from the company ones. So we decided to start enriching the data with new layers of meeting. We inserted the phase of the guest journey, where the issue happened, the type of the problem, the recovery cost, and most importantly, the guest mood when the case was closed. This helped us understand what action truly restores satisfaction and which one doesn't. So now, with this Power BI dashboard, we can finally see all these in one place. We can filter by time, by department, or category, and immediately spot where the friction is building up. We are no longer reacting to problems, but we are preventing them and learning how to take action as they come up. Take our more than 10 F&B outlets as an example. Before, we had no way of seeing where and why most complaints occurred. And now we can visualize patterns across restaurants, season, and service stages that allow us to act quickly and design solutions that actually stick. What changed, in essence, is the mindset. We stopped asking who made the mistake and started asking what in the process caused it. That simple shift is what turns data into intelligence. We call it intelligence because each of us became a sort of CAI agent, not just observing what was happening, but truly investigating why it was happening. A mindset of detective driven by curiosity and insight. Through continuous monitoring, connecting data to data, and embracing no standard thinking, we built a culture of learning. It's how we transform the emotion into insights, making the human side of hospitality visible in number that we can actually learn from. And this is just the first layer, because at the moment we are now connecting this operational view with the post-sale satisfaction data. So we can correlate what happens during the stay with what the guests tell us after the stay. That's how we identify the areas with the highest impact on global satisfaction and act on gaps that might emerge. All of this feeds into one lean goal: to move from solving a single cases to addressing the root causes. And each recurring issue is now mapped, investigated, and turned into a preventive action. We are not just fixing, but we are redesigning processes. So this dashboard isn't just a reporting tool. It's becoming a mirror of how we listen and learn every day. It reminds us that every complaint carries knowledge, and that true improvement starts with empathy meets method. And what made all this possible wasn't just all this data and these tools. It was collaboration. And to tell you how we build this synergy across the team, I now pass it over to Elisa.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, so I would like to follow up on what Giovanni said about starting simple. As we started building our company's tech stack piece by piece, we realized something. It is really easy to get lost in the promise of tools. There is always the newest product, the smartest AI, the most intuitive CRM, a bracelet that works perfectly on cruise ships. Another software that's supposed to change everything only if used right. I'm sure many of you have been there and you have heard the same story or have been promised the same thing at least once. But the truth is that more technology without seeing through the processes means more complexity, more costs, more hours, sometimes even new problems. You spend months trying to implement something you don't fully understand, or that it just doesn't fit the way you're working. Then adoption fails, timelines stretch, and the team loses trust. And you know what? They're actually right, because if the system doesn't make sense, it is faster with pen and paper. Also because honestly, can a machine really know better than the housekeeper who goes and does the turn down every day? Or than a waiter that meets the guests and greets them and talks to them at least 3 times a day? That's when we realize innovation isn't really about stacking systems, but it's about understanding where to start. It's about having the courage to stop for a hot second, sit down, breathe, and ask yourself, what's the real problem we're trying to resolve? It's about method and awareness. It's about both seeing value and also seeing waste. Sometimes it only takes a few post-its, a whiteboard, and a few honest conversations. And that's where lean starts. So in our case, we started mapping our guest journey, defining the during stay phase, and diving deep into each one of them. Nothing fancy, just some pictures of PowerPoint. Our priority was really to create something that anyone in our team could understand in the first glance. By the time we invited experts and everyone, like from each department, to co-create the map with us, something really changed. People became owners and not observers. And that's where the real flow began, because that's the power of simplicity. By using the lean methods as our guides, we were able to engage our teams to define the touch points, pain points, and especially solutions. We created momentum, we built trust, and change began to happen. So we decided to show you this video so you could see how Borgo Egnazia is a real ecosystem of people and perspectives. And to be honest, that was my first challenge, because bringing order to it all, which means setting deadlines, keeping momentum, coordinating with the entire team, more than 12 cross-functional departments in different areas, each one with their own shift, their own rhythm, and their own personalities. And of course, making this at the same time while everybody understood that we were looking for answers within their knowledge. Our job was simply to give context to everything and to find the right tools to keep the flow going. I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of resistance at first, even from people we least expected. However, there were also surprises. Colleagues who had been waiting for a chance to be proactive, to share ideas, and to finally feel part of something collective, so no more silos. People were actually craving that feeling of working together towards a common goal, no? Which is adding value to someone's free time. And that's what made this project so unique. Because there was no manual to follow, no standard to copy. We took lean, absorbed it, and reshaped it to fit our identity, making sure that the spark of our personality remained. Every tool, every process, every document, every brainstorming meeting, everything was built from scratch because it was shaped around who we are. And people actually felt that. We learn how to learn from guests, adapting every day to what changes around them. Just like good farmers who adapt to nature, we find our own way to adapt to people by observing, staying agile, and shaping the environment so everyone, both guests and colleagues, can flourish. Step by step, structure met spontaneity, and participation became our method. This wouldn't have been possible without a clear vision, a common goal, and with the right leadership. So I'm gonna hand it back to Sabina.
Elisa, so I think everybody is hearing our energy, our vibes. So I call everybody on the stage. Mariangela, Giovanni, we are here because my leadership and Borgo Egnazia leadership is based on sharing strategy, sharing a mission, but sharing responsibility. And this project, it shows how to share responsibility, give a successful project life. And every day we are facing with problems in life. Every day we are facing people unhappy. Every day the world is very hard, is very strong. We have a lot of negativity that surround us. So my aim every morning is to try to centralize my energy to be the best part of myself, because the role of hotel manager, it's a very big responsibility, and it's not only to be a leader and to guide the team in terms of finance, in terms of HR, in terms of guest experience. But before all of this is to be a mentor, is to be an example, and is a person. I want to be a person that share our value every day. So for me, it's a very nice way of conducting an experience of being here every day. And what I want to share with you is that in Borgo Egnazia is not a matter of roles, and working together for us is not it's not a part of being for one department but the other one. But what I can say that the fun fact is that in Borgo Egnazia, our email signature include only our name and the team, no job title, because we truly believe in the human being before the human doing. Because being human is what now hospitality needs. There's no hospitality within a human touch. The real luxury of hospitality is the human touch. So for me, every day I have to be the best part of myself. We have to be human before to do a job. And now you have already seen 3 people that are part of Borgo Egnazia's team. But if all of you are coming here, you will see more than you see 300, 600 people, all with this energy, all with this passion, because this is what we are. We are first people, and we are first authentic, and we try to be every day very spontaneous to hug our guests and to welcome them to a beautiful land that is Puglia and a beautiful experience that is Borgo Egnazia, where is really nowhere else. For whatever is inside here, it's not something that is easy to find everywhere. So I hope that we create curiosity, interest, and we are ready to share our successful process with you. If somebody has any question, we are here for it, or you can email, or anyway, it's a way of sharing collaboration.
So we've got 3 more minutes and we've got a few questions. So the first one is, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start a similar journey in the hospitality sector?
So my advice is this one. First of all, you have to unpack the problem. You have to create different type of, you have to deep analyze where the problem are coming from. So you have to, for us, for example, to create single phases in the guest journey. And for each phase, for example, if you talk about the check-in, in terms of check-in, how many check-in process are involved in this phase? So from welcoming the guest at the gate, then bringing the luggages, then taking the document and bringing to the room. So this is the best process, because as much you zoom in, as much you can succeed to transform something subject in very object, in data, in analysis. And only through analysis you can really solve and unroot your problems.
I think we have got time for another one. What leadership behavior make the biggest difference in creating a culture of continuous improvement? That's a difficult one.
This is not difficult for me, is what I really love. But first of all, being a leader, as I told you, is a big responsibility, because you have to, first of all, be focused and be real and be coherent. Because without focus, without authenticity and coherence, you will never be a leader. And then from there, your clarity, you have to design your strategy, your mission with people, your mission with yourself every day, and to have commitment. Never give up. Even in front of what is hard, never give up. Because if you believe that you can succeed, you can do it, you have to go through. You don't have to stop.
Yeah.
You have to go through. Even if you feel that you are strange. If people say, oh my, you're crazy, you cannot do this, you don't have to give up. If you believe in your thought, if you believe in your vision, you have to be strong on it. And sometimes it's easy to remain strong because you have a lot of interference. You have people that want to take away, but trust in yourself and connect with the inner part of you. It shows infinite potential to make everything in life.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Wonderful story. Grazie mille.
Grazie,
Have a good day.
Bye.
Goodbye.